Perswayable. That's my intro music because I'm ghetto and I don't know how to do intro music. What's going on, everybody? My name is Persway. For those who don't know me, I'm a top 15 overall player. And I want to give you my first reactions to Priestess. I'm going to include some gameplay in this video. I just did a ranked match, so all the gameplay is with top 10 hunters in the United States and Europe. So let's talk about the Priestess. Holy key. She puts portals in. She's physically weak, so her Volton is decreased by 20%. Her decoding speed is decreased by 15%. And the difficulty of the calibration is reduced by 30%, or increased rather, so her calibration is very small. And the time needed for healing teammates is decreased by 10%. The time needed for the Priestess is decreased by 30%. Okay, so let's talk about it for a second. So one of the good things about Priestess is that her portals remain on the map until the hunter destroys them. So although you can only use the skill theoretically 3 times, it's not actually real because it reloads. So if I put a portal in position A and then I leave it and put a portal in position B, C, and D, that's 4 portals, when I go back to A, it's still there, right? So the portals they remain there until the hunter actually destroys them, so you can keep putting portals down. So her kiting ability is amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include some gameplay where there was a top 10 hunter and I was able to kite them successfully. In fact, during the kite, she actually got the drop on me. She used the geisha. The geisha was able to really charge me. I wasn't expecting it. And she actually was able to hit me very, very early. And then from there, I was just able to kite the heck out of her. And I was able to put portals down, and you're able to see where I put the portals down in the gameplay. So I was able to get away. So Priestess is really good at kiting, okay? I'm also going to include some gameplay. The timing may not be perfect on this because I forget how long the kite lasted. What's also good about Priestess is that she does have the ability to rescue. In one of the matches, I was able to rescue somebody using my portals. In the match, I was able to rescue 3 people. However, I'm only going to show footage of 1 because most of it was based on positioning. One of it was based on the character itself, so I'll try to include that gameplay. But in terms of rank mode, the biggest deficit to her is that 15% decrease in decode. Now, I know it may not seem like a big deal with some of you guys, but I'm telling you, it really is a big deal. In a lot of the ranked matches today, if I was a thief, it would have been the difference between us winning and tying the match. So because I'm decoding substantially slower, unfortunately, it affects the entire team. And now, for those who don't know, in top tier matches, you need to decode as soon as possible, right? That's why Gardener is a trash character. No one uses her in top tiers, because you cannot be fixated on other things. Your main priority always is to decode as fast as possible. And with her, that 15% decrease really does affect the entire team. And there are many instances where I was looking at the situation within the game and I was like, if I were able to not have this 15% decode, that person would have survived, or we would have been able to win the match instead of tying the match. So my first knee-jerk reaction to her is I'm not going to use her in top tiers. The idea is that you should be good enough with a character where you can kite and not have to deal with a deficit to your decode. Now, Coordinator is different, right? Coordinator is substantially different because she's primarily a rescue character. Mechanic is substantially different as well because she's versatile, all right? And she can also use her robot when people are hit. So her robot, if she does decide to decode with the robot, it's no longer affected by the debuff. People don't know that. But with her being Priestess, you have a 15% static decode, and it really does affect the entire team. So I'm not going to use her as a top tier player. I think that her kiting ability is really great, very good. But the problem is that we should be better with characters kiting that don't negatively impact the overall synergy of the team, and that's just in my humble opinion. So once again, with me saying that, she's a good kiter and she can also rescue, but the decode debuff for me, even though it's 15% compared to Mercenaries 25% and the Forwards 30%, I still think it's a little bit too much, and I'm not going to use her because it's very important that I'm decoding. The problem is that if the hunter engages you in the beginning, you still don't have your portals right away. Holy key! It takes time for that to generate. So at that point, you're just using it like a normal character until it develops. So she's a good character. I have fun with her. Great kiting ability. But in terms of your overall team, she's versatile in the sense that she can save and she can kite. But the difference is that the thief, he can kite and he can decode. All right, and typically because you have a coordinator on your team in the high tiers, you rely on them to go and save. So I think she may have a place, but I don't think she's good enough for high tiers. Just my humble opinion, and I want to hear your thoughts. Have a good day, guys.